I'm Debi Peverill, and you're listening to the weekly tip from Painless Financial Training Group. Today I'm talking about the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy. It has now, of course, it's been extended to the end of August, but what's new is that on July 8th, we can apply for what is period 4, when period 4 is the time frame from June 7th to July 4th of 2020. So that subsidy application is going to be available basically tomorrow. It was supposed to end on the 6th of June, but it was extended. So for those of you that still haven't heard about this, the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy is a payment of up to 75% of eligible wages paid to eligible employees. So there's a lot of eligible in there. Basically, there's different time periods. We're into period 4, but if you hadn't applied for 1, 2, or 3, that can still happen. The application takes place through Canada Revenue Agency's My Business Account portal. So if you've signed up for My Business Account, then you can apply there. You also can have your authorized representative do it, and there is a way to also use a web access if you don't want to set up any of this other stuff. This subsidy, you don't reduce your source deductions. You're actually going to get paid the amount. So you have to calculate your revenue, and for this period, it is a comparison of your June 2019 revenue with your June 2020 revenue. And you can use what we call the accrual method, which means you include what you billed, which is the accounts receivable. You could also use a cash method, which means you only include what you received in June 2020. But if you've already made that decision for the previous periods, you have to stick with what you decided previously. So if you're already using cash, you're stuck with using cash every time. If you're eligible for May, then you're eligible for this time period as well. If you weren't eligible for May, but you are eligible in June, then you will be eligible for period 5, which is July. And when you're doing your calculations, this subsidy isn't considered to be revenue, so it's not a circular calculation. So to make sure that you're eligible, the time period we're talking about, June 7th to July 4th, it has to show a decline of 30% over 2019. So you figure out your revenue for June of 2019, you figure out your revenue for June of 2020, and you can do the calculations. So here's an example. If in June of 2019 you had $75,000 in revenue and your June 2020 is 50, well, you're down by more than 30%, and therefore you're eligible. There's a difference between arm's length employees and non-arm's length employees. So basically your relatives or yourself. If you own your own corporation, then you're not at arm's length to the corporation, and neither are your family members. So the idea is for an arm's length person, so somebody you're not related to, the subsidy is the lesser of the maximum, which is $847 a week, or 100% of the amount that you have actually paid times the 75%. So to be clear, it's 75% of what you paid, or $847, whichever is the least. For non-arm's length employees, there's an additional rule, which means that you had to be on the payroll before March 15th in order for you to be being paid now and getting the subsidy. And whatever you were being paid on March 15th, that's the amount that the subsidy is based on. So basically, you can't hire family members and start paying them a lot of money in order to get this subsidy. So this is the deal. Period 4 is available this week. If you have applied before, then you can do the same things you've done before. If you haven't applied before, then you need to go to canada.ca, follow the navigation there to find out how to apply.